days. Today's a special day, and then Monday will be a special day. Why is that, Paul? Because this is officially, according to the catalog, Student of the Gun episode 999.
Yep. 999.
999. And tomorrow will be 999 part 2, and Friday will be 999 part 3. So every week we have 3 parts of one episode, but that's okay. That's okay. And you say, how does that work? Well, you join the grad program and you'll find out. So we're going to talk about today. We got around those bullet points for you. We're going to talk about some digital night vision, and not fission this time, but vision with a Victor with a V, a homeroom from Crossbreed, and the Avengers. And we talked about this last week. I teased you with it. I said we're going to talk about it. The Avengers step up to defend Chris Pratt. All that and more on today's soon-to-be award-winning episode of Student of the Gun Radio.
Stand by for education, enlightenment, enjoyment, and entertainment.
He's not here to talk about your feelings. He's not here to say what you want to hear. He's here to say what needs to be said.
Ladies and gentlemen, and children of all ages, please welcome your host, the pimp hand of America, Professor Paul Markle.
All right. According to the weather.com, it is currently 3 degrees. Right, man. We got a north, I don't know whether from Saskatoon or Nova Scotia or what. We got this crazy Arctic blast that comes swooping down from Canada and dumped about 10 inches of snow on us. But that's good because we needed it to put that wildfire out. Yeah, because, well, I sent you guys that picture of the mountain of clouds.
Yeah. It's crazy.
I'm sorry, of smoke. It looked like clouds until you paid close, and you're like, how come the clouds are going all the way to the ground? Because they're not clouds, it's smoke. I sent a picture of that to a cousin of mine, and he's like, what is that? I said, that's the fire. That's the smoke from the wildfire. So our wildfire consumed 176,000 acres, and it got within, I think, 15 miles of where we are, which is too darn close. That's too darn close. But thanks to the Lord showered down a crap ton of snow on us, and also in Colorado, too, where our friend Michael Bain lives. He actually had to evacuate his house because of the threat of a wildfire. But he was able to go back because the snows came in and basically covered the ground with white and water. It's supposed to get back up into the 40s and 50s this week. So what's funny, as we move into November, it's going to get warmer.
That's crazy, isn't it?
It's that global warming. That's what it is. It's global warming, climate change. Yeah, that's it. All right, Zach, play the or we already did play the music.
Yeah,
right?
we did play the music.
Yeah, we did.
Oh, I already shut up and played the music. All right. So,
however, I think now's a good time to mention, just while no one's talking, that next week on episode 1000, we're going to be having a big announcement regarding something involving the company, which you two already know what it is.
All right. Well, good.
Yeah, be sure you tune in. Make absolutely double sure you tune in to episode 1000 to hear the announcement that we're going to make.
Sweet. Did you say I already know what it is?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I do. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a really cool thing.
All right.
I give the show back to you.
All right. So right now we are live on
everything:
Discord, Facebook,
I believe,
YouTube. If you are not aware of this, if you're listening to us on Spotify or iHeartRadio or whatever, and you're like, I wonder what it looks like when these guys record a radio show. You can go to the official Student of the Gun channels. It's not hard. Just go to your favorite whatever and type in Student of the Gun and you'll find it. We are going to be doing a Q&A at the end of the show. If we have Q's, I have some A's. If you have some Q's.
The only question that's off limits is, what is the big announcement next week?
You can ask, but we won't tell you.
Yeah, I'll stay tuned in on Monday. Are we going to do the ACB thing, Zach? That's up to you.
Oh, ACB. I haven't. Yeah, let's just do it.
Hold on. Let's pull it down below. Let's get some content in, and then we'll talk about that.
Good point. That's an excellent point, Jared.
All right, we'll just make sure that I put it up there so we don't forget about it. All right, Brownell's bullet points today. Today we're going to talk about something completely different. We're not going to talk about gun parts or anything. We're going to talk about a brand new product in the Brownell's catalog. All right, boom. There we go. So many of you have been asking about night vision, whether you should invest in it, how much it costs, what kind you should buy. Should I get night vision or should I get thermal or whatever? We actually talked about it in this book right here in the Patriot Fire Team Equipment Guide. Now,
not for sale.
Yeah.
Luckily, the ones that you guys get won't have that.
That's right. So, and a lot of you guys have sticker shock when you go to look at night vision stuff. You're like, "Wah, yeah, wah," but it's really not that bad. If you've been paying attention for as long as I've been paying attention, you see the prices of night vision gear, and you're like, "Oh, that's not really that bad," because 20 years ago, you couldn't touch it for less than $10,000, or you could touch the Gen 1 stuff, which was Gen 1 today is essentially a toy. It's like a child's toy.
You can't make out anything.
Yeah. It's like, well, if it's completely dark and I'm 10 feet away, I can look through this and I can see something, but that's about it. When I was in the Marine Corps Infantry way back when, that's when the ANPVS 4 and 5, we had 4s for our rifles and we had 5s as goggles, and that was it. And that was the hotness back then. And we've come so far from then. Technology's advanced, and there's competition too. That is the great thing about the capitalist system, is competition. If you guys don't understand that, you have socialist children or college students. Without competition, you have no innovation. Okay? If there wasn't capitalist competition, we would still be paying $10,000 for a Gen 1 or $5,000 for a Gen 1 or whatever. And you say, all right, that's great, Paul. I don't have $2,500, $3,000 to drop on night vision. So I guess I just don't get to have it. There's digital night vision, and then there's traditional Starlight, your traditional green, green on green kind of night vision. Now, a traditional, the standard right now is the ANPVS 14. I know there's other ones, but the ANPVS 14 is kind of the standard that we measure night vision against. Are there other models? Are there PVS 7s and 18s and 21s? And yeah, there are. But the standard is the PVS 14. Now, a PVS 14 in Gen 2 Plus is going to cost you about $2,000. Okay. A Gen 3 is probably going to cost you in the 3 to 4. Let me see. I'll go online real quick. 2 Plus. It's Generation 2 Plus, which is not bad. $2,300. All right, for a PVS 14. You're like, sweet Buddha. Really? Yeah. You can get a Gen 3 model for $3,000. You're like, well, that leaves me out, because there's no way. If my wife finds out that I spent $3,000 on a piece of night vision gear, she's going to skin me alive. All right.
You know what was great for me?
What's that?
That when Alex was doing a video, she was editing a video, and she's like, "Oh, I'm gonna go look up night vision stuff." The first thing that she found was the $50,000 like super duper cool one, and she's like, "Are you kidding me? You're gonna?" I'm like, "Well, good news is that your anchor price is now 50 grand. So when I show you this and it's 3, then you're gonna be like, okay, that's better."
You're like,
so
well, look, honey, I found one. Yeah, the EOTech GPN VG. the four
Yeah.
the super cool Navy SEAL 4 lens ones from Optics Planet. You can get it for only $42,499.
Yep.
So there you go.
I was like, good news, honey. This one's only 10,000. She's like, oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Oh wow. Yeah, look at that. I saved $40,000. I saved $30,000. So, but you're like, okay, Paul, what does this have to do with Brownell's bullet points? Brownell's just added a brand new product to their catalog. It's in the new products section, and it is a digital night vision monocular. Not a binocular, but a monocular, and it's from a company called Psionics. Jared and I actually got to see the very first model a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
It was 2 years ago at a SHOT Show. It was SHOT Show 2019. So at SHOT Show 2019, Jared and I had dinner with a couple of guys, and they're like, hey, check this out. This is brand new. This is it wasn't a proto, but it was like an original production model. This was back when they had, Psionics now has actually 4 different models. This was when they had 1 model, and that was it. But what is digital night vision? Basically, digital night vision is a technical way to make night vision less expensive. Is digital night vision, like, okay, let's be honest, is a digital night vision, monocular as good as a $3,000 PVS 14? No, it's not. But is it way better than not being able to see in the dark? Yeah, it is. What do you get with the Psionics? And it's called the Aurora model, and they have them in the Aurora Black, the Aurora Green. I've got a black one. I've got the Aurora Black. They've got the black, the green, and they've got a white and blue one, which is basically the super. They call it the Sport, which is the entry level model. But the difference in price between them is like $100 per model, something like that. What do you get? Well, you can take still pictures with it. You can take video with it, or you can just turn it on and stare through it. You can magnify it. You can magnify the image, and you can also adjust the gain. Basically, you can use it for. And how many of you old school guys remember the rubber caps with the pinholes on your original night vision gear? I remember when we were training with our ANPVS 14s, and the instructors are like super crazy about never, ever, 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 under any circumstance, remove the rubber cap in the sunlight if it's turned on, because it'll burn out the module or burn out the nodes or burn out the, whatever. It'll ruin it. It'll destroy it. And of course, when you're a private, you're like, oh, I don't want to destroy this thing. And they're like, if you destroy it, you're going to Leavenworth. You're going to go to jail. And the Marine Corps is going to send you to jail. With the digital night vision, there actually is a daytime setting. There's a twilight setting. And then there's a dark setting. So you can use it in daytime as basically just a camera, as a video camera, a digital video camera, or a digital still camera. You can set it obviously for twilight, which only lasts about a half hour or an hour, either sunrise or sunset. And then if it's dark, you just set it to the dark setting. The unit I bought the black. It came with 2 rechargeable batteries, a hard case, and it has a memory card. Got a memory card inside of it. Now you can also Bluetooth it you can download the app and you can Bluetooth it to your phone, or link it to your phone, or I don't know if it's Bluetooth or it goes through the app or whatever.
Have you done that yet?
I downloaded the app, but I haven't.
Okay.
The images off my phone, off of the thing to put on my phone yet.
I was wondering if when you turn it on the video setting, if it's actually live or if it lags a little bit.
Oh, from the thing to the phone?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How when you Bluetooth a GoPro to your phone, or at least the older versions, it was kind of laggy. But
Yeah.
then as they released them and they updated the versions, then
Yeah,
it got better and better and better. So I'm wondering if this one is essentially when they released the first one, if it's good to go, or if it's a little bit laggy.
All right. So for those of you that have not checked it out yet, or haven't like gone on to the Brownells website, the starting price for the black version is the Aurora Black is $699. Then the next one up is $799, and then the Pro Explorer. Now, I don't know what else you get. See, basically each model, it just has this one has a built-in GPS compass accelerometer, yada yada yada. Some of these features, a lot of you guys be like, I'll never use that feature, and I'm not going to pay for that feature because I'll never use it, which is fine. Some of you guys are like, oh man, I want every single feature I can possibly get. Okay, then great. From a practical standpoint, I will tell you this. From using mine, if there is available like dim light, like starlight, moonlight, street lights off in the distance and stuff like that. I mean, obviously, if your street is well lit up, you don't need a night vision. It works really well. If it's completely dark, this is how Starlight Scopes work. A Starlight Scope, what that does is all right, here we go. The Pro Explorer is a digital, incorporates moonless starlight, making it possible to observe your surroundings anytime, even in pitch black environments. You're like, rock on, I'm going to buy that one. It's $1,200, $1,299. The less expensive one, you're going to need, if it's super dark, like completely clouded in, no starlight, no moonlight, no nothing, I'm in the woods and I can't see my hand in front of my face. If you want to use your night vision, what you're going to have is an IR light. Now, the good news is IR, that's infrared, IR lights are not that hard to find anymore and are actually pretty readily available. And not only that, but you can get IR filters. Let's say you have a favorite flashlight from company X, Y, or Z. Many of these companies make IR filters that you can put over it. And it's kind of amazing, isn't it, Jared? If you've never used IR lights, like you look at it and you're like, there's nothing coming out of this. And you look through the thing and you're like, holy crap, it's completely lit up.
It was funny because I did that one time when I was going through the flashlights in my bin. I was like, oh, this battery's dead in this flashlight. So I went and I changed the batteries and it was still dead. And then I looked at the light and I said IR. I'm like, oh, those batteries probably weren't dead.
Yeah. What about lasers? What about IR lasers? Can you pick up and see an IR laser in the Psionics digital night vision? Yes, you can. What about mounting systems? They sell a Picatinny rail mounting system that you can, because the optic itself has a basic, I don't know what the screw thread is. Basically, it's the exact same screw base as video cameras, as digital cameras, as your 35 millimeter camera, whatever that is. It's that universal base. That's what the camera has. So if you wanted to mount it on a tripod or you wanted to mount it on like I said, they have a Picatinny. It's an aluminum Picatinny rail mount that you can buy from Brownells. It comes separately. Now, one thing, I don't want you guys to get too excited. You're like, ooh, it's a night vision scope. No, it's a monocle. Because it does not have a reticle. Okay, this does not have a reticle in it. You're like, oh, well, crap, I can't put it on a gun then. Well, you actually could if you have an optic that has a night vision setting. Like for instance, if you have an EOTech with the night vision setting, or if you have an aim point with a night vision setting, or if you have something like I've got a Black Spider Optics, I've got an illuminated reticle Black Spider Optics scope. And what I was able to do is I was able to stick the Aurora in front of that. And so you can look through, you illuminate the optic, you look through it, and you can see it, the field of view. Now, what I have found is that if you put the Aurora behind an EOTech or whatever, your field of view is pretty limited. Now, you can see, and of course, you just obviously, you can zero the optic in the daytime, and then you just stick the monocle, the night vision monocle behind it. I'm not going to belabor this anymore, but what I wanted to let you guys know, a lot of you guys out there, you're saying, hey, man, I would really love to have some night vision. I would love to have night vision capability. I'd like to be able to see in the dark, whether I'm doing security or hunting or whatever. But I just can't justify $3,000 for night vision. Okay. This is kind of a gateway drug. And the truth of the matter is it probably will be a gateway drug for you. A lot of you guys out there, you'll probably buy these, you'll get them and you'll use them. And you're like, man, this is great. But I wish that I could do more or whatever. And then you end up maybe later on buying a PVS 14 or a PVS 7 or whatever. So if you're looking to get into night vision, if you want to be able to see in the dark or, see using infrared lights or infrared lasers or whatever, this is a way. Is it a perfect solution? No, it's not a perfect solution, but it is a good way to get into the night vision game without investing. Well, basically you're investing about $600-700. So compared to $3,000, $5,000, $10,000, a lot of you guys out there, you're like, man, I got all kinds of disposable income. I don't really care. I'll just go to Trigicon and I'll buy the Reaper. And if you got that kind of money, brother, rock on, do it. All right, Zach, do we want to talk about ACB
Hello.
right now?
Yeah, we can talk about that right now as we speak. So go ahead and start talking about that.
All right, congratulations to Judge Barrett, Amy Barrett, who was confirmed onto the Supreme Court. So if we can just get rid of Roberts now, we'll be good to go. I don't know what they have on Roberts, but obviously the Democrats have something on him. You say we're going to do this until Halloween?
Yes, that is correct. Until Halloween, this code is valid. That's code ACB at shopsotg.com to get a free puck constitution with all qualified orders.
A free puck constitution?
I said pocket.
Pocket. Enunciate. You're on the radio.
I'm trying to go fast.
Don't try and go fast. You're on the radio.
Well, everyone knows what I said, so it's fine.
All right. So to commemorate the confirmation of Judge Amy Barrett onto the U.S. Supreme Court, if you use the promo code ACB, now, Zach, we needed to tell him this is only valid with physical orders.
Yes, and that is
not digital orders.
Yes, and not with attire.
Yeah.
That's
so basically, things that come directly from the student of the gun store.
That is correct. Yes.
So any physical product, the Pocket Lifesavers, the books, the Alabama Problem Solver. If you haven't gotten an Alabama Problem Solver yet, what else? What else is physical?
Patches, the Ready Man cards, the shooting mat.
The shooting mat. That's right. If you don't have an official student cleaning mat yet, all the books, the physical books, not the digital books. So the patches and all that stuff. You're like, wow, man, you're limiting it. I'm giving you a deal. Just calm down. Zach's giving you a deal here, freaks. Yeah. So, all right, the EDC lube, the cleaning mats, the survival cards, the patches.
Yeah.
The knife. Oh, there's a tactical knife. Is the tactical messenger bag out of stock?
Yes,
sold out.
We are out of stock on this.
No. But if you use the promo code ACB, you'll get a free pocket constitution. So there you go. Do you still have poncho liners in stock?
Oh, yes, we do.
Dudes, if you don't have a poncho liner, you're wrong, and you can get one from us. So there you go. All right, let's go ahead and move on. Thank our friends at Duracoat, because life is too short
to have an ugly gun.
That's right. Go to DuracoatFirearmFinishes.com. StarlightScopes.com. And, well, shop around to your heart's content. Get yourself some slightly darker black, a official Student of the gun tattoo. I believe they still have the Fighting Solves Everything gun tattoos. You want to do that? You want to check those guys out? Oh, I almost forgot to tell you. Sign up for the Brownells newsletter. You know how you know when Brownells has brand new products like the Psionic Night Vision? You sign up for their newsletter. Oh, really? Yes. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. You do that. What else? SWAT Fuel wants you to have a stronger body, sharper mind right now. Get going. Use the promo code SOTG at SWATfuel.com. All right. Listen up, freaks. Zach's going to tell you what to do.
Yes, I will.
In just a second.
ShopSOTG.com is the perfect place to go if you are a student of the gun. Whether you want to expand your brain, increase your marksmanship, or help keep your family safe. All that, plus the Pimp Hand brands that you love. ShopSOTG.com has almost anything that an American patriot would want. Education, enlightenment, and entertainment, and we're open 24/7. Check out ShopSOTG.com today and see for yourself.
Yes, indeed. That is what you should do. Go to shopsotg.com. And you say, well, I don't care about the Pocket Constitution. I just want a new t-shirt. I want a new coffee mug. Do that.
If you want a new t-shirt, then I have this perfect thing for you. The original Stoner that we just put out recently. It is available to us right now. What?
Stop yelling.
Sorry, I got excited.
Stop
Also,
yelling.
I'm usually very quiet on the recording, so
Oh, okay.
me yelling is actually me being right.
All right. All right. You say that. You say that. What am I holding right now? I am actually holding the C39 Micro. This is the AK pistol that I just reviewed, and the new review is going to be, I think it's out this week, or going to be out this week, in our Patriot Fire Team Leadership series. We've got a Patriot Fire Team video series that is available exclusively for our grad program members. If you're a grad program member and you have not gone into the student lounge and gone through the PFT video series, the training series, you should. I'm going to remind you, though, that the way that the educational series has been set up, you need to actually start at the beginning and go through the end. You can't just skip around. It's an educational series, so start at number 1 and do that, and then do number 2 and so forth. It doesn't take that long. And this gun that I'm holding right here is actually the team leader's gun for the AK, and that video is going to be available, I believe, this week. It should be released this week. So if all of you guys out there, if you've not gotten into the grad program yet and you haven't gotten into the educational series, there's a lot of really good stuff that's available only to grad program members. Go to getsotg.com, and there you go. All right, let's go ahead and move on to the Student of the Gun Homeroom, brought to you by crossbreedholsters.com. All right. What are we going to talk about today? I'm going to talk about, well, number one, when you go to crossbreedholsters.com, use the promotional code. That's SOTG18. You're going to save money. You will be a happy camper. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Staging your gear, the Minuteman model. How many of you have a lot of gear? And I'm going to assume most of my audience is like, yeah, I guess I kind of do. How many of you guys have your gear all over the place? You got, well, I got some on the workbench in my shop. I have some in the storage room. I have some in my closet on the shelf. I've got this here, and that there. That's fine. That's great. I mean, I will admit to having bins of stuff, holsters, slings, accessories, drawers full of knives and all that stuff. But I also have my gear, my go to war gear, my fighting gear staged and ready and where I can get it. Right now I have my plate carrier And on the plate carrier, I have tourniquet and I have loaded magazines. And if I needed to, I could just grab the thing, throw it over my head, grab a rifle, and go.
Well, you know what I did?
What'd
I
you-
bought all my gear and I left it in the plastic so that when I need it, I have to open up the plates and put them into the plate carrier. And it's going to just be, it'll be easy. It'll keep it clean while it's staged.
That's right. It'll be clean. It won't get dust on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you bought one of these super cool everything bags, you say, oh, I went online during the Obama administration and this one company sold me a backpack filled with survival gear. Okay. What's in there? Well, I don't know, but I mean, I knew when I bought it, but is everything still in the plastic wrapper? This is how you can tell when people are just, I've got a good one for you, Jared. If people are just staging photos or actually using gear. I saw a photo the other day and it was of a gear carrier. It's supposed to be a medical gear carrier. And they had a tourniquet. It wasn't our tourniquets. It was a cat tourniquet still in the plastic shrink wrap from the manufacturer.
Inside of a holder?
in a medical gear pouch. And I was like, yep. That was the situation where they just handed a photographer a box of stuff and said, here, take pictures of this. And he's like, okay. He didn't actually use the stuff. He just like takes pictures of this stuff. You know what it was? It was an advertisement for an ankle gear carrier. It was a med pouch that you wear around your ankle. You guys have seen those. It's kind of like ankle holster, only it has slots and stuff in it. And so the image was a guy pulling his pant leg up, and he had the thing around it, and there was a cat tourniquet in the plastic shrink wrap from the manufacturer shoved into it. And I was like, rock on. These are things that you pick up on when you pay attention. So my advice to you is this. Look, you do not know when you're going to have to use your gear. You might know if you're going to be offensive. If you're defensive, you're not going to know because you're not making that decision. Someone else is making that decision for you. And you need to have your fighting gear where you can get it and ready to go. Think of the Minuteman model. You know, the Minuteman literally came from be able to leave your home in 1 minute. If we ring the church bell, ding, 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 and they told all the militia guys, they're like, hey, if you hear the church bell ring or whatever, if it's not Sunday morning at 10 o'clock and you hear the church bell ringing, it's an alarm. Grab your stuff and meet blank. Meet at the square, meet at the Liberty Pole, meet at, the tavern, whatever. So this guy's laying in bed and, it's 4:30 in the morning and dang, 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 dang. He hears the bell ringing. Like, crap, honey, where's my musket? Where's my haversack? I don't know. Where did you put it? And they had a haversack hanging on a peg with a powder horn and balls and powder and the ramrod and a hunting knife. And it was right there. And they could just grab it, throw it over their head, and run out the door and go respond. And that is the Minuteman model. That's having your stuff. If I woke you up at 2 o'clock in the morning with an air horn, and I said, you got 60 seconds to grab your gear and go outside. Could you do it? Or would you be running around in the dark? Well, I can't remember where it is.
I might have a shirt on by then. I don't know.
Yeah. Women don't understand this. Maybe some do, but most don't. But since I was in the Marine Corps, I learned to put everything back in the same spot so that I could find it in the dark. Right? In my gear locker when I was on the ship, my personal coffin locker, everything was in the same. Like I could go in there at 04, 02, whatever, lights out. I didn't need a flashlight. I just open it, reach in, and I knew where stuff was. And I was doing that when I was, when we first got married, and my beautiful wife would, I'd be sleeping or whatever, and she'd walk in the bedroom and turn the light on. I'm like, why are you doing that? Well, how am I supposed to find blank without turning the light on. What? And I was like, are you telling me that you could go to your dresser and open the drawer and get what you needed without turning the light on? Yes, that's exactly what I'm telling you.
It's funny. Benjamin Franklin, it was Benjamin Franklin, right? That did most of the work with electricity. I think so. He was probably, after he did that, he's probably like, why did I do that? Now she just turns on the light every single time.
Well, I don't think Edison is the one that came up with the light bulb. Franklin did not invent the light bulb.
No. I was just talking about this kind of discovering electricity or doing the most work with it. I think it was Franklin.
But but Franklin did not invent the light bulb. Edison.
No, I wasn't talking about the light bulb.
Okay. Anyway, my point is this. If you want to be dangerous on demand, that's great, but your stuff needs to be where it's supposed to be. How many of you guys, when you take your guns off at night, put them always in the exact same place? I do. If you're not doing that, you should. And not just your gun. When you do pocket note, flashlight, I can reach up and grab my flashlight in the dark. That's kind of the point. If you have to turn on the light to find your flashlight, you've missed the whole point of the exercise. Flashlights always need to be in the same spot. If I put my hand onto the dresser and the flashlight's not there, something's wrong. It always goes in the same spot. Pocket knife, flashlight, med kit, it all goes in the same spot. I can reach out in the dark and I can grab it. And don't give me some crap about I can find my phone and use the flashlight app on my phone. That's,
Yeah, it's easy. You just say, hey, Siri, turn on the flashlight. You don't even have to use your hands. I'll tell you what, though, those flashlights are getting pretty bright.
Oh, phone lights?
Yeah. Remember when they first came out, you're like, yeah, it's not really a flashlight. Now, at least it can be kind of used as one.
Yeah. I mean, obviously it's a utility thing, but it's not for fighting.
No.
Yeah, and it's not a 6P or whatever you're carrying. These lights right here, I tell you what, that light right there, these stilettos, they're the balls. They're great. They're awesome. There's 3 different versions of them now. There's like the good, better, best, and this is the flashlight. I used to have a Surefire. What was that little short fat one? What was the short fat?
T1 or something like that. I can't remember.
The little short fat. And that one, I was like, man, this is the J frame of flashlights. You always have it. It's great. The stiletto's better. It's better because they designed it to fit in a pocket, so it's flat. It's fantastic.
Oh, you're talking about the E18, the like one battery.
Yeah.
That also had a green light in it too.
No.
Okay. But I think the E18 was one of those.
Yeah, the short fat single battery that they came out with about 10 years ago. I carried that for years and years and years and years. And I actually carried it so much that I lost one of them. It pissed me off. But I started calling that the J frame of flashlights because it was a light that you always had on you. And the stiletto has replaced that. It is the light that you always have on you. And the fact is you can you recharge. I just recharged mine yesterday, and I use my stiletto probably 1 to 3 times a day.
Yeah. And it lasts a long time.
Yeah.
I was pretty impressed because the rechargeable batteries, it used to be, you're like, the thing's not going to last long enough. It's going to be dead when I need it. But now the technology has come a long way and it lasts so long.
Oh, yeah. So whether it's a flashlight, whether it's a gun, whether it's a rifle, whether it's armor, whatever, if you're not already doing it, start using the Minuteman model and stage everything where you can find it and use it immediately. Because if you have to, you're like, oh, I know I got this, but it's probably somewhere in my shop. Hang on, I'll go find. No, that's play gear, not fighting gear. If you have something that you're going to use to save your life and to save the lives of your families, you're like, well, why would I want that? I don't know. When are the gangbangers going to load up and drive into your cul-de-sac and start raiding your houses because the police are all busy dealing with the riots downtown and they're not coming? What? That won't ever happen. It's happening right now. Just stay in your house, lock your doors, and hope the bad people go away. That's the model. And then models, if that's the model, if that's how you want to live your life, great. But if you've already made the decision that you're going to defend your life and your family's lives and your property, you might want to have gear that you can actually find in the dark at all times. That is my suggestion to you. So apply the Minuteman model. And if you want to, at any point in time, you should say to yourself, look, if the balloon goes up, if the siren goes off, whatever, can I lay my hands on my gear right now? And if the answer is no, I can't, then you need to make a change. You need to fix yourself. Because it's there's no point in having, it's upstairs locked in the safe where it's supposed to be. Okay. You're going to die with a dumb look on your face. All right, Fitty. You want to talk about Fitty? I know Zach does, because Fitty is Zach's favorite thing to say.
Fitty. Yep. 50 Cent backs Trump. Did not know this happened until I think it was last week when you were mentioning it. I looked it up and I was like, holy crap, he actually said that. That's
true.
Very comedic. This is a story from the New York Post. Says 50 Cent backs Trump. Quote, I don't want to be 20 Cent under Biden. Oh, man, that's funny. Rapper 50 Cent on Tuesday confirmed that he's backing President Trump for re-election, saying that he could become 20 Cent under Democrat Joe Biden's plan for higher taxes. Yeah, I don't want to be, this is a quote from him. Yeah, I don't want to be 20 Cent. 62% is very, very bad idea. I don't like it. 62%
was the
tax rate. That's insane.
Well, it's not your money. It's the government's money. And they just let you have it.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
His latest tweet featured a clip of Fox News with Trump campaign advisor Katrina. Oh, there went the New York Post header. Katrina Pearson quoted making the joke about changing his name. Okay. You want to continue, or is that pretty much? No,
that's fine. So, and this is, you're like, who cares, Paul? I don't like rap music and I don't follow rappers or whatever. No, this is a BFD. This is a BFD because Curtis 50 Cent, what's his last name? What's Curtis's last name?
Jackson.
Curtis 50 Cent Jackson is an African-American black gentleman. And the Democrat Party for the last 50 years has assumed, and most of the time rightfully so, that it owns the votes of all the black people in America. They have behaved as if they own black people. The Democrat Party has behaved as if they just have it in the tank. It's a given, right? National elections, it's always been a given. And that's one of the things that Rush Limbaugh has talked about for decades now, is how the Democrats promise to make black people in America's lives better. And they've been promising that since the 60s. And then every 4 years they come out and they're like, your life is terrible and it's horrible and racism and poverty and but if you elect us, then we'll make it all better. And then they get elected and then they go away and they do nothing. And they actually make things worse. And then they come back in 4 years and they're like, you're poor and downtrodden. And if you vote for us, we'll make. And they've been, rinse, lather, repeat. They've been doing that since the 1960s. Well, we're seeing a change in America. Not every African-American black person of color, I got to make sure I get all of them there so that I'm being correct, is buying the bullcrap. They're not buying into it. And they've decided to leave the Democrat plantation. I mean, the Democrats for basically have felt like and acted and behaved as if they own American blacks, that they have to do what they're told. And, the Democrats tell them who to vote for, and they're just supposed to do it. But we're not seeing that. We're not seeing that. We're seeing, there's a big push. There's a big push. Black voters explain their support for Trump. Black Americans are fed up. I mean,
apparently the Latino Americans are as well. I saw an interview from an athlete, and it wasn't an interview, it was a speech that he was doing, and he was talking about how he's an athlete, so he equated it to sports terms. He said, I don't know about you, but essentially he said that you don't fire the coach when you're winning. Like, if you're going to win the Super Bowl, you don't fire the coach.
Right.
He's like, you sure as heck don't replace your current coach with a coach that's been in the game at all levels for 47 years and hasn't won a darn thing.
Hasn't won a game yet.
Yeah, I was like, that's a pretty good analogy.
Yeah. It's like we want a losing coach. We want a guy who's been a coach for 47 years and hasn't won a game yet, but he keeps promising to.
Yeah.
I promise.
So the 62% tax rate it would be combined for New Yorkers. It would be the federal and state taxes combined.
Yeah. So 62,
that's insane.
Every dollar you make would go to the government. And that doesn't even include sales tax.
That's so crazy.
That doesn't include sales tax. That doesn't include property tax. That doesn't include Social Security tax. That's just income tax. So you can be like Sweden, eh? You could be like a Norwegian or European socialist country where you get free healthcare. You just have to give us all your money. Well, what a deal. What a deal. What a deal. So that actually is news. That is big news because, well, people like 50 Cent are not supposed to do that. In the normal model of America, they're supposed to just jump right on board and do what they're told. And I think it's refreshing to see people that are saying, no, you don't own me. I know you think you do, but you don't.
There's more people in Hollywood. I don't know if 50 Cent's technically in Hollywood, but there's more people in the Hollywood genre of individuals that I've seen that are coming out and actually supporting some kind of politics this season or this year, this election.
They always support politics. They always support whoever the Democrats.
No, but I mean, there's people that have never, because in my opinion, it's like the people that are actors. It's like, while you do have a platform, it's like you're not really a political expert, so just leave politics out of your podium, I guess I'll call it. But this year, there's more people that are actors and rappers and singers and whatnot that are actually backing either one candidate or the other. I'm like, wow, it's actually gotten serious because they're coming out and actually supporting something political.
All right, let's go on to the next story. The next story, and this is the one we teased you with last week about Avengers assemble to defend Chris Pratt. This is not the first time that Chris Pratt has gotten crap from the media, whether it's the Twitter media or the social media or the Hollywood insider media, because Chris Pratt came out as being Christian and family oriented, and essentially he didn't just drink the Hollywood Kool-Aid. The Hollywood Kool-Aid is you support all Democrats all the time. You support abortion, you support LGBTQX, whatever psychotic crap, we feed you. And if you want to be invited to the parties, I mean, look at people like Kelsey Grammer and Tim Allen. Tim Allen had his show, a hugely successful television show, canceled because he criticized Comrade Barry. And they're like, oh, you got to stop criticizing Obama. He's like, no, it's part of the show, and I'm going to do that. Well, then we're going to cancel your show. And that's why they did it. They canceled Tim Allen's very successful television show because he was pro-conservative and pro-Republican and pro-America. And Hollywood don't like that. Ask Kelsey Grammer. Kelsey Grammer wrote a book talking about how if you're in Hollywood and you speak your mind, unless you speak the mind, unless you're part of the hive mind, Hollywood is a hive mind. Kelsey Grammer a long time ago said, yeah, if you come out and say that you voted Republican or you support George Bush or Ronald Reagan or whatever, you're done. You won't get parts. You will not be cast in movies or television shows. And we're not talking about hack actors here. We're talking about people that have had very successful shows. Because the lexicon, the official line from Hollywood is, you will support all things Democrat, and if you don't, you better shut your mouth about it, or we will punish you. So let's go ahead and look at what happened to the most recent attack on Chris Pratt from HollywoodReporter.com.
Yep, it just says Avengers assemble to defend Chris Pratt after he's voted Hollywood's worst Chris. Robert Downey Jr., Zoe Saldana, Mark Ruffalo, and James Gunn took to social media to support Pratt after a deluge of criticism of his supposed religious and political views. In a bizarre turn of events, Chris Pratt's Avengers co-stars heeded the call and came out to defend the actor against the growing social media backlash that began with a throwaway Twitter meme and morphed into the Guardians of the Galaxy star being dubbed Hollywood's worst Chris. It all began innocently enough on Twitter when Warrior Nun writer Amy Berg tweeted pictures of Chris Pratt, Chris Pine, Chris Hemsworth, and Chris Evans, captioned with the words, "One has to go." It's part of a popular game, apparently, on the social media platform.
Mm-hmm.
Followed a deluge of responses that singled out Pratt as the unlucky Chris. The users on Twitter pointed to Pratt's acting as reason enough for him to be the worst Chris, but as the poll went viral, his religion and alleged views on LGBTQ issues, as well as his supposed conservative political beliefs, became topics to bash the actor.
Yep.
Practicing Christian, Pratt reportedly attends service at Zoe Church in Los Angeles. The church has links to Hillsong Megachurch that has been criticized as ultra-conservative and described by actress Ellen Page last year as infamously anti-LGBTQ.
She's a psychopath, so I don't give a one rat's fanny what she says.
At the time, Pratt addressed Page's comments, writing on social media, quote, "It has recently been suggested that I belong to a church which hates a certain group of people and is infamously anti-LGBTQ," end quote. Oh, no, not end quote yet. "Nothing could be further from the truth. I go to a church that opens their doors to absolutely everyone," end quote. He was also criticized for missing a Joe Biden campaign fundraiser in Hollywood, attended by many of his Avengers co-stars, which sparked off speculation he was pro-Trump.
Stop right there. So, see, what did I just say? He didn't show up for a Biden fundraiser. How dare he? Doesn't he know that he has to do that? So he didn't show up for a Biden fundraiser, therefore he's pro-Trump. And so that makes him bad in Hollywood. Hollywood loved Donald Trump in 2014. Hollywood loved Donald Trump. Hollywood put Donald Trump in their movies. Remember his cameo in Home Alone 2? Yeah. In Home Alone 2, Donald Trump had a cameo. He was walking through the... See, Hollywood, they're such hypocrites. In 2014, they had no problem with Donald Trump. 2015, they had no problem with Donald Trump. They didn't start having a problem with Donald Trump until he became a viable candidate for the presidency of the United States. And they're like, oh, we have to hate him. Really? Why do you have to hate him? I mean, you used to quote him, you put him in your movies, you made television shows with him, and now all of a sudden you hate him? Come on, people. Can we be honest for 1 second? All right, as it happens, these things escalate. With these things.
Yep, it escalated quickly, and by Tuesday night, Pratt's MCU, which is Marvel Capcom Universe co-stars, I already named them earlier, were among the heavyweights that took to social media to decry the social media bullying Pratt was facing, as well as reaffirm his qualities. Robert Downey Jr. said, quote, "What a world. The sinless quote unquote, are casting stones at my brother, Chris Pratt, a real Christian who lives by principle, has never demonstrated anything but positivity and gratitude. And he just married into a family that makes space for civil discourse and just plain fact insists on service as the highest value. If you take issue with Chris, I've got a novel idea. Delete your social media accounts, sit with your own defects of character, work on them, then celebrate your humanness." End quote. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Downey's this is crazy. Like it's crazy that we're reporting on a story on a Twitter post, and part of the story is that Downey's post was liked by Avengers cast member Jeremy Renner. Apparently that is of note.
That's of note. Yeah.
Pratt's Guardians of the Galaxy co-star Zoe, is it Zoe or Zoe?
Zoe.
Who is Zoe Saldana?
She's the green
Gamora.
Gamora,
Okay.
the green chick.
And she was
Okay.
also crap. She did another superhero thing, didn't she?
Yeah, she was in Star Trek.
Yeah, that was it.
She was a horror in Star Trek.
So she tweeted a Tupac quote in Pratt's defense, tweeting that this is quote from Tupac: "No matter how hard it gets, stick your chest out, keep your head up, and handle it." End quote.
Mm.
Jeez. Pratt. I forgot that was his handle.
At Pratt, your family, yeah.
Yeah.
So essentially, I wanted to bring this story up because this does several things. It shows, just like we said with the 50 Cent story that we just did, the Democrats that claim to be the most, what do they claim to be? The most open-minded,
Tolerant and inclusive.
and most tolerant. They demand that you tolerate everything that they have approved of which they have approved. They claim to be the most loving, tolerant, accepting of all people. When what did Limbaugh say, Jared? The exact opposite of their stated intent.
Yep.
Liberalism always generates the exact opposite of their stated intent. So their stated intent is that they are the most tolerant, accepting, open-minded people in the world. When it turns out the proof is that they're not. Whether they're the leaders, and did you see the freaking the icon that hippie chick used in her Twitter thing? The to attack which one of these things has to go.
I don't think that was an attack. I think that
Yes,
was.
it was. Look at her icon.
Okay.
What is it?
But she didn't.
It's Ginsburg. Here, Jared, don't be naive. Don't be naive.
Dude, I'm like, that is so small.
No, it's not.
It literally, like, that was the impetus of the backlash
Right.
on social media.
This was on purpose. This chick doesn't like Chris Pratt because of his beliefs. And so one of them has to go. These people know what they're doing. She's a journalist. She has a column. They know what they're doing. It's not an accident. Don't be naive.
I'm not being naive.
She was trying to feed, and what they're doing. See, she's trying to get the base ginned up, which is exactly what happened. They know what they're doing. They put that out there, and they know that their rabid base is going to start, yeah, and he hates gays. Yeah, and he's a racist. Yeah, and he didn't go to the Biden, so he's pro-Trump. And he wants people to die and starve and be poor. They know what they're doing. But my point is this. Whether it's the 50 Cent thing or whether it's the Chris Pratt thing, the people who claim to be the most tolerant, the most accepting, the most open-minded, the rainbow, everyone is included, are the exact opposite. You can be part of their group as long as you only say exactly what they've allowed you to say. As long as you're part of the hive mind. The people who say that they're tolerant and open-minded and caring and loving and we love all, serve all, blah, 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 blah. No, they don't. We love all, serve all as long as you are in perfect alignment with what we've decided. And if you step out of that, we will destroy you. Ask Tim Allen. Ask Kelsey Grammer. I mean, there are others, but those are two perfect examples of people that held different views than the socialist left and were attacked for it. This isn't a coincidence. This isn't, oh, come on, some people just don't get along. No, it's purposeful. That is what we're dealing with right now. These are the people who think that they should run the country. Jared, what did Roy say? What is political correctness? Social Marxism. Mm-hmm. It's Marxism. Political correctness is you can say anything you want to say as long as we've given you permission to say it. And if we haven't given you permission to say it, then you must be silent. Or if you say it anyway, you will be punished. Cultural Marxism. That's what political correctness is. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm glad that his and Ruffalo is a full-blown liberal wacko. He's a liberal wackadoodle. But I'm glad that he at least had the guts to stand up for his friend. That's something. That Ellen Page chick, she's a lunatic. Listen to her speak. She is a lunatic. I think she's a vegan too. She was on a television show recently. She looked like she was an Auschwitz victim. Like she looked like she was wasting away.
When did Ellen Page tune in on this?
She's the one who attacked Chris Pratt in public and said that he's an anti-LGBT because he doesn't toe their line. So, ladies and gentlemen, there is good news in the world. Good news is that there's digital night vision that you can afford to buy for less than $1,000 from Brownells. And the good news is that not everybody that's supposed to be, towing the line for the socialists, for the liberal fascists in America. Not everyone's actually doing that. Some of them have woken up and said, you know what? No, not going to do it. And we applaud that. And I think it's fantastic. We need more people like, I can't believe I'm about to say these words. We need more people to be bold like Fiddy. I can't believe I said that, but it's true. It's true. We need more people like that to stand up and say, no, not going to play your game anymore. Been playing your game for a long, 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 long time and not going to play it anymore. So that's it for this week. And tomorrow, we're going to have a bonus hour, 999 part 2. And the main topic is Fighting Solves Everything, no room for defeat. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the poison of the defeatist attitude and how we don't have any room for that there. We'll have a fighting fitness for you guys, and we're also going to have leadership trade of the week and all that good stuff. If you'd like to join us, take advantage of the educational material and the camaraderie and all that stuff, go to getsotg.com. Do we have did any questions pop up, Zach?
Negative.
Or people just rapt attention?
Oh, they were enthralled in every word you spoke.
There you go.
Nathan Q says, has anyone tried out PowerTac lights? I have not. I don't think so anyway.
PowerTac lights.
See if I have one.
No, I have not. I don't know. PowerTac lights.
I don't think so. I might have one of these in that bin though. It looks like I do. I have to go check it. To my knowledge, I don't think I have, Nathan, but I'll go and check my bin and let you know. There you go.
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Just a reminder that make sure you tune in next Monday. You can tune in this weekend, obviously, if you go to getsotg.com. But on episode 1000, we got that special announcement. Don't forget about that.
There you go.
Just throwing that out there, a reminder.
All right, freaks and freakettes, remember, you're a beginner once.
You're a student for life.
We appreciate your reviews. If you haven't left a review or updated yours recently, head on over to Facebook, iTunes, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, or your favorite podcast player to voice your opinion. Don't forget to join us at the Student Lounge, a place for like-minded individuals to learn, connect, and support each other. No chicanery will be tolerated. Remember to check studentofthegun.com daily for new, free content and giveaways. Watch, listen, read, shop, and connect at studentofthegun.com. Are you a social butterfly? Connect with us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter for new content each and every day at Student of the Gun. Watch Student of the Gun TV and videos from our trusted partners on Roku, Apple TV, Amazon Fire TV, Chromecast, and even AirPlay. Go to studentofthegun.com for direct links, and remember, you're a beginner once, a student for life.